Happy 4th of July, everybody. I hope all of my American viewers have a fun and safe weekend of good cookouts and enjoy the fireworks. I'm gonna admit this video is a bit of a quick replacement for many videos I had to shelve for multiple reasons. I did plan to start a set of videos on my favorite franchise about space wizard samurais and their battle with an evil space warlock and his gang of space Nazis, but given my VTuber model is, hopefully, getting finalized and sent to me this week, and this is a 3-part set of videos, so I'd like them all to have the same quality, so they're benched till my VTuber model is done. Then I tried to replace it with a review of the first 3 episodes of Ironheart, but life caused me to have the script done near the premiere of the other 3 episodes, so my friends and mutuals convinced me it was better to just do one big video review, so it's on ice until next week. And with the 4th of July upon me, it felt prudent to have something involving a patriotic superhero. But the decision of what I could talk about with the limited time I had to make a video was difficult. I considered doing a video on Sam Wilson and John Walker and how they both compared and contrasted to being Captain America, but that deserves more time than I have for production. Then I considered taking a look at the indie comic Common America and how it's one of the few conservative-leaning comics that isn't a completely repugnant show of trigger the lib memes. But I don't think I'm ready to open that particular can of worms, since I don't have 100% nice things to say about it even then. So I was at a loss until I had a sudden memory from my childhood, back when I was watching old VHSs with my parents, and remembered a particular red, white, and blue bunny fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. In 1986, a joint American-Japanese production involving Fred Wolf Films and Toei Animation teamed up to make The Adventures of the American Rabbit, a children's movie based off an obscure book series about a young rabbit who gets patriotic superpowers and fights the forces of evil while teaching life lessons. But can an obscure children's movie from the 80s I had forgotten for almost 30 years hold up? Absolutely not. This thing bombed hard and basically fell into the void. But I had fun rewatching it and laughing at how bad it was. So let's talk about the many things wrong with it, and consider how the wasted concept could be better in a modern setting. Hey team, phantomskullvt the super security VTuber here, and for Independence Day, we're looking at The Adventures of the American Rabbit, to take some light jokes about this overly moralistic kids movie, and how it could be better in a modern retelling. So let's suit up in our finest red, white, and blue and go watch one of the worst heroes I've ever seen in a children's movie, I'm not gonna lie. Get the Daily Bugle on the line, because I've got a story about an American bum. So the movie begins in a small rabbit village where a young couple has given birth to a young man named Robert Rabbit. Everyone thinks he has a bright future ahead of him, including a mysterious old man who cryptically talks about his future before disappearing. He'd reappear constantly as Rob grows up, seeing him become strong, fast, but above all, a rabbit of good character and morals, by 80s children's movie standards. As a young adult, he and his parents are having a picnic when suddenly a boulder comes tumbling down, ready to squash them. Suddenly, Rob goes beyond plus ultra and transforms into the American Rabbit, saving his parents. The old man appears like a Jedi and low-key made me think he caused the rock slide as a test or something, I'm not gonna lie. And reveals that the village has a duty known as the Legacy. This legacy means that the best of the village is given the power of, American spirit? They never really go into detail about this, and their duty is to go out and make the world a better place. Specifically America, of course. He sets off on his path of heroism with his village disappearing into nothing. What the hell is this? They got cloaking technology? This never gets brought up again, by the way. So Rob makes his way to San Francisco, where he's hilariously immediately set upon by the villains of this movie, the Voltor Gang, a biker group made up of jackals who honestly look more like red wolves, such as my favorite sky pirate, Don Carnage. The jackal leader low-key tells the country bumpkin Rob that he wants to eat him, in case the kids couldn't tell the jackal bikers weren't the bad guys.
You and I gotta have dinner together.
Dinner?
Let's do it real soon.
Huh. Maybe the jackal leader just wants to go on a date. Guess this was Rob's gay awakening. How progressive for 1986. He soon gets a job as a pianist at a local bar known as the Pandemonium, owned by Teddy, the panda. It also includes Rob's love interest, Bunny O'Hare, with the stock, soft 80s love interest voice.
How do you do?
Very, very well.
So I guess Rob just had his bi awakening? Okay, last joke about that. Suddenly, Rob's bad boy biker crush and his crew show up, shaking it down for protection money, but Teddy's not playing ball. Later during the club show, the jackals attack and trash the entire building, and our hero Rob just keeps playing the piano. Gonna run to the bathroom, Rob? Go get the American Rabbit to fight these guys currently destroying your workplace? Terrorizing the innocent? No, you're just gonna keep playing that piano. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing here. Bunny plans to host a rally against the jackals to show they aren't afraid, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, the jackals are a gang, a criminal biker gang. Police barely show up in this movie and seem to be useless, but what is a rally going to do against a biker gang? It's here we're introduced to the leader of Voltor, known as the insidious Walt, and his pet vulture? Okay, side note, why is everyone else anthropomorphic animals, but the birds are just birds? It's so confusing. There's not much to Walt, who I'm just going to call Voltor for reasons that will make sense later. He's 100% old school Saturday morning cartoon villain. I'm talking full Dr. Claw shit. He literally has a moment in the movie where he just rants about doing evil things simply because he's a villain, so he must do villainous things. Other than that, all he does is just berate the jackals to the point where I wonder why they even bother working with them.
Fools! Bunglers! Clowns! It's idiots like you who give evil a bad name.
Somebody better go call evil HR at this point. He's not too happy about the common folk rallying against him, and plots with the jackals to send a dangerous message about resisting them. During the march, they give an interesting lesson about not judging all jackals for the actions of a few, which falls flat since every jackal in the movie is a member of Voltor. The jackals crowd everyone onto the bridge while the vulture cuts the bridge's support cables. Either he's built differently or the city's got some explaining to do at the next budget meeting with how easily he cuts these things. Rob finally remembers he's a superhero and fixes the bridge and doesn't follow the buzzard he clearly saw try to kill everyone. I'm gonna be brutally honest, Rob kinda sucks at this superhero thing, I'm not gonna lie. It's here the movie kinda goes off the rails, and I'll be summarizing a lot as the plot begins to go all over the place. It feels like this was supposed to be a series that got smushed together into a movie from how everything plays out. The Pandemonium crew decides to hit the road to do concert gigs across the country to get funds to rebuild the club, all the while dodging Voltor's schemes, which are pretty nonsensical and make little sense. Like, his first plan was to kidnap their gorilla friend Ping Pong to attack the American Rabbit for them. However, Ping Pong is a gentle giant, so I assumed Voltor had like an Evo serum or something. Nope, he kidnaps him, takes him to a cave in the Grand Canyon for some reason, and threatens to drown him if he doesn't work for him. This was very convoluted and the American Rabbit makes short work of it. And this is kind of the vibe for the rest of the movie. They go to a new place, their attempts to get a job for the reconstruction goal fail, Voltor tries to kill them, and the American Rabbit stops them, with Rob doing the old Christopher Reeve Superman gaslighting about his identity.
Oh, well now, hey, I wouldn't worry too much about old Rob. No, not old Rob.
Rinse and repeat until we get to New York, where Voltor's final convoluted plan ensues. Voltor and his crew kidnap a father and son chocolate-making duo and rig the entire city with explosives under the name of the Doomsday Switch. The American Rabbit tries to stop them, revealing the boss was a robotic cover and, shockingly, the real boss was the vulture named, well, Voltor. It's a kid's movie, guys. Let's just accept that. He threatens to blow up New York if the American Rabbit doesn't announce his proclamation of them controlling all of New York under the threat of the Doomsday Switch, and promises bribes to those who obey with chocolate from his moose slaves. Voltor quickly go full Nazi Germany occupation with armbands and everything, and kinda fail spectacularly as nobody seems to take the Jackals seriously and riot in the streets. I guess the mistake was trying to invade the Bronx. The Pandemonium crew saved the chocolate makers, and meanwhile our hero, and I'm starting to use that in air quotes at this point, does absolutely nothing. He's crying and sad about failing this one time, and doesn't do anything until the old rabbit Jedi spells out the obvious and gets him back into the game. Like seriously, Bunny O'Hare has been more proactive in the fight against Voltor than Rob has the entire movie. Give her the legacy. She's honestly got way more heroic qualities than him. Oh, wait, it's 1986. Girl power's not gonna be a thing until at least the 90s. Oh well. So Rob's grand plan was to block up a power station's water supply and knock out power to the entire city of New York to shut off his doomsday switch. And possibly f over anyone in a hospital, I guess. American Rabbit, more like American Fraud. This guy's bombing worse than John Walker as Captain America. Like, for God's sakes, take his powers away before he does something crazy. Everyone cheers on our domestic terrorist, I mean hero, when Voltor attempts to kill the chocolate maker's kid, but fails like he does the entire movie, and we finally lead to our epic final showdown where Rob chases him into a snowstorm and he just dies from exhaustion. That's it? Our master villain, everybody. And then, that's just where the movie ends. That's it. That's where it ends. Rebuilding the Pandemonium, the issue with the Jackals, all plot points that get forgotten and not resolved. Look, this movie is bad, but it was made for kids in an era when animation was mostly just for young kids to either tell them questionable moral lessons and or sell toys.
Well, she found out there aren't any magic potions. And you know what? There aren't any magic drugs either.
And even then, it bombed hard when it came out. While I had fun ripping this sort of forgotten movie, I do admit it has a soft spot for me, because I see potential. I could totally see a decent modern reboot of this if it was in capable hands. An anthropomorphic rabbit who gets patriotic superpowers and becomes a mix of Captain America and The Flash is a really cool, but wasted concept for this movie. So let's say somebody gets the rights to the concept. I could see it in a style like the DuckTales reboot, give it a more serialized plot since clearly this is meant to be a series, and also do an overhaul on the themes and character arcs since this would be a modern cartoon. It would be more character and plot driven and made for both kids and young adults, like the Owl House or again, the DuckTales reboot. And depending on the writer and if its distributor isn't a complete coward such as Disney, we could handle some topical subjects through the lens of children's media, since this does involve a patriotic-themed superhero in 2025, aka Hell Year. Rob would need an overhaul since he was an atrocious hero in this movie. This would be a traditional hero's journey for Rob as he goes across the country to learn his patriot powers, which I'd personally redesign to be like some red, white, and blue Kamen Rider armor, because, well, I am a filthy weeb. Rob would actually be more proactive as a hero, and struggle to learn how to lead when others begin looking to him for guidance that he's clearly not ready to give, but needing to step up in the face of Voltor's evil. Voltor would be reworked into a large-scale criminal organization like FOUL. And okay, low-key, I'm gonna admit the DuckTales reboot is 80% of the inspiration for this reboot concept. I'm not even gonna front. Voltor would have two personas: the criminal mastermind Voltor who leads their evil organization, and Walt, a charismatic but sleazy billionaire CEO of a megacorp, because of course the villain is a corporation. Get it? Because he's a corporate vulture? I'm totally clever. Bunny would be given a lot more to do. Maybe make her a freedom fighter or rebel who knows what shady stuff Voltor's up to and is trying to stop them. She can still be a love interest for Rob, but she'd have more to her character than that. Maybe personal beef with her fight with Voltor, and could be a more progressive source of insight for our sheltered patriotic hero. And maybe include a good Jackal character who might be related to the lead Jackal gang member who's a part of American Rabbit's crew to actually have the "don't judge everyone for the actions of a few" lesson actually mean something. Maybe a badass biker jackal chick that totally won't get a million pieces of fan art. Oh, who are we kidding? I know what you people are like. Not gonna lie, I might keep spinning this headcanon because I think this would be an interesting concept, but I should wrap this up. Patriotic themed superheroes can be a can of worms depending on how you write them, especially in this day and age when it gets wrapped up with the dreaded P word a lot. Overall, The Adventures of the American Rabbit wastes the concept and mushes together multiple plots that go nowhere, heavy-handed moral lessons that fall flat from the movie's own choices, and ends just as rushed as the rest of it. There's a reason this has been forgotten to time. While it was fun to take this trip down memory lane, and I can see potential in a modern reboot with the right creative team, The American Rabbit just failed to connect with audiences, and I remembered why I forgot about this movie. I will say, if you want to watch it yourself and come to your own decision, you can find it for free on Tubi. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this look at this flawed, forgotten gem from my childhood. And again, for my American viewers, I hope you all have a fun and safe Independence Day. Now go eat a burger and blow some stuff up. Fireworks, to clarify. Please don't break down my door. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. What's a forgotten gem from your childhood? How would you handle writing The American Rabbit if you got to write it? Be sure to subscribe for more superhero analysis videos and other fun super security silliness. If all goes according to plan, this may be the last video with my PNG tuber setup, and next video will be debuting my proper VTuber model. I hope you all are as excited as I am. Thank you all again, and I'll see you next week for the big reveal. Happy 4th.